What's up, everybody? Joe here, coming at you today from Builders Hall Level 6. This is a sneak peek on the developer build. This is not out quite yet, but it will be coming very soon. Let's get into this really fast. The main focus here is to actually get you eyes on the new defense here, the Roaster. We're going to get into that in a second, as well as the addition of the Night Witch. Those girls are awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome to play with. Also, take note that there's addition of another Crusher. There's another Archer Tower added at Builders Hall Level 6, as well as another Mega Mine, which is just very bad for everybody. And the addition of a few more of the mines, some spring traps, new addition of walls, and that's really about it. Some additional levels to everything that's out actually on the base. But really the main focal point of this video is to get you gameplay and eyes on the Roaster as well as the Night Witch. Let's go ahead and get into that, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the Roaster, starting out with a attack that has baby dragons on the outside. So they're going to work their way into the base here. They're going against the Roaster here. So the Roaster is an area splash damage defense, 7-tile radius on it, air and ground. So it'll attack anything. It has no preference. It will attack air or ground troops. As our baby dragons work on the air defense here, we're going to sneak in another baby dragon in there. And I just love how this defense just splashes, fire upon its enemies, circles around, stays focused on that troop until the troop goes down, and then it'll pivot around and go to the next troop. Actually, a very fast spin on the turret there as it spins all the way around, scalding the baby dragon. And then the baby dragons are going to come in here and overpower it. Basically, all the other defenses are a little tied up at this point. Just an awesome defense to watch as it spins around. It's locked onto a baby dragon, but it will go down. Alright, so let's see our Roaster versus the melee troop, or the raged barbarian in this case. We also used the archers, or the sneaky archer, and try to get in on this thing as well. Very dangerous defense versus the melee troop. As you see, our raged barbarians up top just getting melted up there. Bringing in another group from the south, and as they bunch up and get into this area where there's denser defenses, the Roaster will spin around very quickly, and it will just continuously scald melee troops, putting them down as they get in on the wall. They get hung up on that wall, and our Roaster puts them down. A very large group comes in, opens up the compartment, and then rushes directly into the Crusher, so it doesn't work out for them very well. How about our tanking units in the Giants? Giants are still used, some from what I've seen, and when they're at this level, they're extremely powerful when they're grouped up. Grouped up versus defenses, as we had a push trap, not a spring trap, a push trap pushing our Giants into the Crusher, which didn't help out at all. But the splash damage is also adding additional damage to our Giants as they move in, trying to get in the wall, getting caught up on some of the other defenses and walls there within the space. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into our Night Witch. So the Night Witch is very relatable to the standard witch, minus the fact that she spawns bats. Now, the number of bats are based off of the level of the troop itself. She's very susceptible to bombs, just like a standard witch, and the bats are susceptible to the air defenses, the air mines, as well as the archer towers. When overpowered by those defenses, the witch will explode and turn into a massive group of bats that will swarm in on a defense or a structure and take it down as she goes down. What I did notice throughout the process of playing with the Night Witch is that distance is her friend away from the base. The closer she is to the base, the more susceptible she is to dying, obviously. The closer she gets in. I love how they are able to spawn and send bats into the base directly, like so, from afar. They don't even have to be up on the structure, but obviously, like you see there, the giant bomb or the mega mine there takes the witches out, as well as the air bomb over there taking out the bats as they move around the base. The witches are just as susceptible to the traps or the push traps as the giants or barbs or anything like that, but they are always able to, when they die, turn into a massive group and have a last stand, basically getting in on some type of structure. Obviously in this case it was the builder's hall. So going against Duke earlier this evening, I was able to kind of learn this part where distance is the Night Witch's friend, as he drops his Night Witches from really far away from the base, giving the bats a lot of time to clean up trash ring structures on the outsides of the base. Just absolutely brilliant here is what it was. You're seeing the bats move in from afar. The witches are still got a little bit of distance on them. We got the battle machine up there working. He's kind of caught up on a wall. His ability is used there. And then the bats are continuously taking out structures on the outsides of the base and working their way in on the the firecrackers, the air bombs. They're on the they're over on the crusher right now, as well as our battle machine assisting with cracking through the wall, working on the builder's hall, and he will actually get a really high percentage 2-star here as we wrap this one up. The bats are working on the builder's hall. We do have a Night Witch back behind the battle machine. Battle machine does one more last stand, using the ability again, finishing off the builder's hall, and then going down due to the roaster as well as some defenses there. Again, so really far distances here. Duke comes in from the very far eastern or western side of the base with the Night Witch. Large group there, but see how much distance is there between them and the actual base itself. Coming in with their bats. The bats have taken out about 5-6 structures there prior to the witches ever getting within range of any defenses there. So, I mean, very brilliant move here, maneuver here with the bats being able to travel the long distance. They are able to, take out traps along the way. They're identifying bombs. They're picking up, the air traps there. And then as the witch explodes, again, they do rush in on the next closest structure. In this case, it was the roaster, and they actually do go down. So just a beautiful attack here. And it really just kind of left me wondering, is distance really where it's at when it comes to the Night Witch, or is it just our bases? We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But I did actually 3-star a base with the distance from the Night Witch. So I did about the same thing as I saw earlier, getting my Night Witches out pretty far from the base. I didn't put them on the outside edges. I just kind of sprinkled them around the outsides, using my battle machine to assist and basically tank for my Night Witches. So the bats are going into the base, and they're very persistent. They're working on a lot of different structures. They're taking down archer towers. They're assisting my battle machine up in the north as I'm using his ability to crack through that wall. The bats are working on the crusher. They're working on that Tesla up there. Down in the south, they're also taking out the crusher. And the air bombs are just too slow to stop these bats as they move through the base. Obviously, we lost a few witches. So this actually does turn out to be a 3-star, as our witches our bats get in on the builder's hall. They will take down the builder's hall, and they will finish up taking out the roaster and the cannon. So smash that like button, guys. Hopefully you enjoy these new troops and new defenses on the builder's hall. Drop those comments below, and thanks for watching, guys.